human being. All right, now we're gonna get back to the American fascism, our very own. Oh wait, hold on. I wanted to show this as well. Here's Harrison Mann, a Jewish former U.S. Army major, resigned to protest U.S. support for Israel's war in Gaza. More anti-Semitism coming from the State Department, folks. Unimaginable, unacceptable.
Exclusive interview with a Jewish U.S. Army major who resigned to protest U.S. support for Israel's war in Gaza. Until yesterday, Harrison Mann worked in the Middle East Bureau of the Defense Intelligence Agency. In his first TV interview, he tells Chief Investigative Correspondent Jim Axelrod why he can no longer serve in the Army.
When the reports started to filter in about a Hamas attack of October 7th, former Army Major Harrison Mann knew what to expect.
All hands on deck, people working late hours, 24/7 at the outset.
What was unexpected for him was Israel's response.
We saw, even from the first days of the Israeli...
How? Big dog, you worked at the State Department. Fuck you mean it was unexpected? Literally everyone. Everyone knew this was going to happen. That's crazy. That's precisely why so many liberal Zionists were like immediately being like, what happens to the Palestinians are a direct consequence of the actions of October 7th. It's like, hold up, what do you mean? Like so many progressive, quote unquote, progressive motherfuckers on the timeline immediately knew exactly what was going to happen and decided to shift their priorities over to justifying Israel's actions. There were even people that I know that I have interacted with a lot on Twitter that I think are, decent people overall. That did that. They were like, oh, how could this be a good move or whatever? Anyway, no, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I just used him as a jump off point to talk about some other shit. For the record. So make no mistake. I'm just talking about I'm just reminded of in the immediate aftermath of October 7th, so many people who are otherwise progressive, running defense already preemptively for Israel by saying everything that's going to happen is Hamas's fault because Israel is not going to take this, lying down, yada, yada, yada. Those people knew exactly what Israel was going to do. And they chose, knowing full well exactly what Israel was going to do, they chose to fucking defend Israel. Not saying this guy is, by the way. I want to reiterate. I'm just saying it's a testament to how much people with any kind of know-how on how Israel operates knew exactly what the fuck Israel was going to do, myself included. That's why if you look back at my coverage, if you look back from my coverage all the way back in early October, virtually nothing has changed in my tone, in my attitude, in the things that I'm saying. The only thing that has changed is that in the beginning, we lost a lot of fucking community members, many of which have come back now. Because they thought that it was unimaginable, the things that I was saying. Oh my God, these guys are the victims here. How dare you? 8 months later, now they recognize perhaps they weren't the victims. That's it.
The air campaign, willingness to inflict very high...
You've gotten significantly more pro-Palestine, actually? No.
Civilian casualties.
A response this 13-year Army vet working on Middle East issues for the Defense Intelligence Agency says was enabled by U.S. weapons and indiscriminately targeted Palestinian civilians.
Were the Israelis using American weapons against civilians in Gaza?
I can say almost certainly yes.
But were they doing so intentionally?
I don't know how you kill 35,000 civilians by accident.
Mann resigned in November.
This is your letter.
no longer able to justify his work to himself, which he explained to his colleagues in a letter.
At some point, whatever the justification, you're either advancing a policy that enables the mass starvation of children, or you're not.
You felt your work was directly connected to starving children.
Yes.
Another U.S. government official announced today she has resigned to protest.
More than a half-dozen government officials have publicly resigned in protest of U.S. support for Israel's war. Man is the first from the military, the first from the intelligence community, and the first who's Jewish.
I understand if people are angry that I chose to speak about this, but I didn't really feel like I had that much of a choice.
The grandson of Jews who fled the anti-Semitism of Eastern Europe, Man doesn't agree that the cry of never again that galvanized Jews after the Holocaust warrants the current Israeli response.
They're not responding in a way that is productive for the security of the state of Israel or Jews worldwide. And I think using never again as a justification, I'm confident saying it's certainly, some measure of ethnic cleansing. I do not think is in the spirit of never again.
Wow. Powerful reporting from Jim Axel.
No, U.S. not going to Snowden him. There's a lot of people like him. I mean, he's great. It's awesome. It's awesome that he did that. Oh,
there's a lot of pressure.
Here, Israel is also doing war crimes in Lebanon. After doing war crimes in Gaza, now they've started doing war crimes in Lebanon.
Building on the Lebanese-Israeli border, and it's escalated massively over the past few days. This latest round of Hezbollah attacks is clearly testing tempers, with both sides now threatening all-out war. The Israeli War Cabinet's emergency meeting was quickly followed by the Israeli leader visiting troops and emergency workers in the north. We are ready to strike, he seemed to be suggesting.
Whoever thinks that he will hurt us and we will sit idly by is making a big mistake. We are prepared for a very strong action in the north.
The Israelis have been hitting further inside Lebanon. If we look again, the pictures are hazy but appear to show white phosphorus being used. The claims come on top of an investigation by Human Rights Watch, which details widespread use of white phosphorus by the Israeli military in Lebanon. The human rights group focused on the months immediately after October the 7th, when these areas were full of residents. The use of white phosphorus to drive out people, burn land, or fired indiscriminately in populated areas is outlawed under international law.
Why is no one offering any refugee status? Dude, it's because all the Arabs hate Palestinians, okay? Because they're bad. Is that what you want to hear? Is that what you want me to say? Is that what you're gonna say eventually? Oh my God, freshly new here. What's Hasan's take on the solution of this conflict? Why doesn't Egypt take refugees? Why doesn't Egypt accept refugees? Bro, do you think that's the right question in the situation? Why doesn't Israel stop doing ethnic cleansing is not your first question? Look at Jordan. Look at Lebanon. Why doesn't Israel accept the refugees? Why doesn't Israel stop creating refugees? The fuck is going on, dude? Fix your brain. Fix your fucking brain, stupid. This is not an earthquake. Boo, don't yell. Suck my cock. Do you think it's an earthquake? Do you think it's a volcano? Do you think it's a tsunami? What is happening in Gaza? What's happening? There are 5 million Palestinians currently under the Israeli occupation. 5 million. There are 15 million Palestinians total. Do you know where that number comes from? The 10 million Palestinians who are currently under refugee status. They live in Lebanon. They live in America and other countries. They live in Egypt. They live literally everywhere around the planet. You know where they don't live? Israel. Because Israel won't let them. Oh my God. Any other country around them? Egypt? Bro, you are literally, oh my God. I am trying so hard. Oh. Why don't we push the fucking Arabs to another Arab country? Why won't we do this? Bro, ask the better question. How the fuck? Why are they refugees? Why? Why are they refugees? Who has turned them into refugees? These people are not fleeing a natural disaster. They are fleeing Israel's violence. I'm actually pro-Palestine. Oh my fucking God, dude. These guys are trying. This sounds unironically so similar to the fucking dickheads that were like, Hasan, I'm actually pro-Palestine, but I can't believe that you said Israel struck al-Ahli when they literally did. You're really ruining the pro-Palestinian cause here. I, on the other hand, am advocating for the Palestinian cause by consistently saying, why can't these fucking Palestinians just run away from their ancestral homes that they were pushed away from originally? That's why they're in the fucking Gaza Strip to begin with.
This documentation, I think, should raise the alarms with states that are providing weapons or arms with Israel, because there is a real risk that such arms are going to be used in violation or may be used in violation of international law, whether it's in Gaza but also in Lebanon.
Our own investigation.
So what's your solution? What do you mean, what's my solution? I've already explained it a million times over. America says you are never getting another fucking dollar for the rest of your existence unless you stop the killing right now, pull your fucking troops out of Gaza, and immediately get to the table for a inevitable one state solution that will start off with offering Palestinian sovereignty, a standing military, and potentially a two-state process that will inevitably yield a one-state solution, equal rights and representation for all, with a right to return for all the Palestinians. Your demographic concerns of making sure that you have an ethnic and religious majority of Jews is no longer important because it is a fascist one from the jump, and it will always be a fascist one. Okay? That is my solution. You also have to pay reparations to the people who you have fucking slaughtered so ruthlessly for generations. Now, here is where he starts chirping about how impossible that is because Israelis are too fucking racist. Sorry, Hasan. The Germans are too anti-Semitic. Yeah, that probably won't happen, Law. Like clockwork, bro. Like fucking clockwork. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And just like clockwork, these dumb fucks that are like, I'm actually pro-Palestinian, but why don't we fucking literally further engage in the Israeli ethnic cleansing campaign by, doing the bidding of Israel and just fucking drive the 2 million Palestinians that are living in Gaza that have had their lives destroyed by Israel into the Sinai Desert. Where are blacks' reparations? Bitch, if you think that you're in the community of someone who doesn't say that their reparations that black people should get from the American government, you're wrong. Huh.
Investigations in Lebanon found evidence of widespread burning of land, although we cannot confirm by whom. When we contacted the IDF, they vehemently denied using white phosphorus illegally. But they...
What? Not even the U.S. can? U.S. absolutely can. The United States has made Israel, and it can break Israel if it wanted to. You are delusional if you think the United States can't do this. Okay? Once again, the relationship with Israel as a settler colony is so tied to American foreign policy that it goes in either direction. Remember, there are more Israeli companies in the NASDAQ than Korean companies, Japanese companies, and Indian companies combined, okay? America has given hundreds of billions of dollars, if not more than $200 billion, to Israel since 1948, since its inception. That means, okay, that means that if America says, hey, this shit has gone on for too fucking long, and says, no longer are we allowing you to behave like this, it's over. It's over. The project is done tomorrow. Count to aid the Jordan and Egypt. Great fucking, great statement, by the way. Exactly. When we say jump, Jordan and Egypt say how high. So what the fuck are you saying? Israel should also start jumping. Because this aid is to maintain the peace with Israel. Wait, what? I think it's saying the aid. Oh, he's saying the aid to Jordan and Egypt is for Israel. I mean, yeah, these countries wouldn't. These countries are also, well, not Egypt, but Jordan is directly the designs of the British. It's a country specifically created to be the holdout territory for all the remaining Palestinians that had to go somewhere. Anyway, where's that one bitch that was like, why not Egypt? Why not Egypt? Where is he? Did he leave? Did he escape?
They said they do possess smokescreen shells that include white phosphorus that are legal under international law. These shells are used by the IDF for creating smoke screens, they said, and not for targeting or causing fires.
Yeah, they literally said this last time they used it too, by the way. I'm just judging by the politics of Israel. No, you're not, dude. You are just fucking caping for a genocidal apartheid state, but trying to masquerade it in the most laughable way possible. No, you're just here to fucking say better things are not probable, better things are not possible. You're just in here specifically to fucking chirp. You're like, hey, guess what, dude? Guess what? The final solution to Jews are gonna happen. We just can't stop it. So what we can do is maybe hope that like not all the Jews die in the final solution. Okay? Germans, unfortunately, are too angry. Okay? Let's not examine the German Nazi ideology. Let's not examine the fascism. Let's not examine the violence. Why won't the Jews be allowed to leave and go to other countries? You know? Would that be all right? Because that's the argument you're making right now. I'm actually talking with others against Israel. Relax, please. No, it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. Your fucking arguments are idiotic. I gave you my solution. I literally called you out and knew that you were going to immediately say, well, that's not probable, okay? You're literally fucking advocating for forcible exile and making it as though the blame is not on Israel, but instead on fucking Egypt. Oh. German Führer Adolf Hitler said in response to the conference, I can only hope and expect that the other world, which has such deep sympathy for these criminals, in parentheses Jews, will at least be generous enough to convert this sympathy into practical aid. We, on our part, are ready to put all these criminals at the disposal of these countries. For all I care, even on luxury ships. Okay? Hopefully, this will cause you to self-reflect a little bit. Sorry, the Jews are unfortunately the common enemy of the Germans, where there's nothing we can do about it, is exactly the argument that you're fucking making here. While simultaneously presenting yourself as pro-Palestinian. Of course you're not fucking pro-Palestinian. Anyway, that's why I view, unironically, someone who is like pro-Israeli ethnic cleansing and does genocide denial at the behest of Israel, going to Israel to fucking cut further propaganda, akin to going to Nazi Germany and being like, well, you know, I'm here to talk to the Nazi party and show you that they're not actually doing an ethnic cleansing campaign, but simply ridding themselves of the genuine evil within German society, the Jews. And in the process, maybe I'll talk to a couple Jews, a couple nice Jews, but this Holocaust stuff is actually not that serious. Come on now. Okay? That's how I feel about people who go to Israel to do this. It is exactly what they are doing. It is the most evil form of propaganda, like unimaginable. While I always maintain the position that people can fucking rehabilitate themselves, people can fucking learn the truth, people can change their attitude and opinion, I always tell you there is a lot of smoke that I have for individuals that are professional in this regard, professionally doing this sort of thing. Okay? You are literally working to rehabilitate a genocidal apartheid regime currently conducting an ethnic cleansing campaign. It is unimaginable. I would rather, and I'm telling you right now, I would rather fucking die than be forced to exhibit such a humiliating, such an abhorrent, morally abhorrent stance. I would rather you fucking kill me than do such a thing. Man, you don't get how you're throwing away people who support Palestine? The fuck are you talking about? I just showed you you're repeating Hitlerian propaganda and you're like, oh, I support Palestine, and you're casting me aside. I'm not even talking to you at this point, by the way. But it's weird that you're taking that into account as though I'm talking to you. I'm sorry if you think that me correcting you, okay, me correcting you about your misguided perceptions about what must be done, perceptions that are directly fucking hinging on how racist Israel is. I'm just saying in general, don't be so emotional. Banned. I entertained your fucking idiotic notions for the past hour, okay? That's insane. We're talking about an ethnic cleansing campaign and you're like, literally repeating Hitlerian propaganda. And now you have the fucking audacity to be like, don't be emotional. Suck my dick. That's crazy. You fucking cowardly filth. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking worm. Oh, don't be so emotional. I'm just simply saying, why can't we fucking ship 1 million of these Palestinians into Egypt, into the desert? It seems to me like it's Egypt's fault, not Israel. I'm pro-Palestinian, by the way. Suck my dick. You're not fucking pro-Palestinian at all. You're pro-genocide. Oh, you're pushing people away from your fucking cause. Suck my dick. Do you think you and I have the same cause? Do you think you're on the side of justice? You just want to feel good while simultaneously capitulating to Israeli fascism. What the fuck are we talking about? Don't be so emotional. It's only a handful of babies that Israel kills every fucking day with American weapons with their tax dollars. So why are you being so emotional? Why are you being so emotional when you see charred children in a fucking tent city designed by Israel? Why are you being so emotional? Yeah, you shouldn't need my validation to be against genocide. Yeah. An hour ago, we talked about someone having to identify their mother's corpse by her missing toes. I can't believe I'm being emotional about the fucking genocidal, rabid, psychopathic, violent, fucking abhorrent fascist state doing such a thing.
And are not defined under law as incendiary weapons. But tens of thousands have been forced out of their homes on both sides of the border. 100,000 in Lebanon alone, according to the Foreign Ministry, causing a displacement crisis. Many of them are farmers, like this man, who told us of the scorched earth policy they believe is being used against them.
When the phosphorus is fired, it drops something like powder. It sprays something yellow.
Do you know what that does to a fucking human being, by the way? Phosphorus? It burns your fucking skin. It melts your skin in a way that is impossible to put out. Okay? I've seen it with my own two fucking eyes. The horrors that victims of such an inhumane act have had to withstand. I've watched Palestinian children in hospitals try to get treated. There's a reason why it is a fucking war crime. It sticks to you and it burns you, and there's no way to extinguish it.
And it has a bad smell. All our land in the south is affected by it. In the beginning of the war, they dropped a lot of phosphorus.
The many Lebanese residents we've been talking to over several months appear to back up the investigation by Human Rights Watch. We found residents who don't want to be identified in Kefir Keller, who showed us pictures from an attack the night before we arrived. It looks very much like white phosphorus being fired from Israel.
They're trying to suffocate us, start fires and burn all our land. Why do they want to hit us? Why do they want to hit a civilian area? Are they allowed to hit a civilian area?
But the Israeli military insists it's hitting Hezbollah targets from where the Hamas ally is launching attacks against Israel. The villagers we spoke to say these attacks are unpredictable. The fires are difficult to extinguish and they've suffered breathing difficulties. They're one of the few families still in the area, nervous about speaking because of possible Israeli retribution, but also worried about incurring Hezbollah wrath by talking to foreign media. The area...
If we didn't ban the chatter, he was about to be like, why doesn't Egypt take the Lebanese so that Israel can just take that area too? Why doesn't Egypt give up their land to Israel? Why doesn't Jordan give up their land to Israel? Why doesn't Lebanon give up their land to Israel until that entire fucking land is just Israel? You know?
Was clearly still very active whilst we were there. And now the Arab media is awash with reports of diplomatic warnings from several Western envoys about an imminent Israeli attack on Lebanon. Prepare for war, one is thought to have told the Lebanese. The escalation over the past few days has only fueled those worries of all-out war between the two neighbours. Alex Crawford, Sky News.